Hi there, it's Sam from Pootlers.co.uk. Thank you very much for joining me today. Today's project is this one. Now, this is a version of a project I made with my team this weekend because this weekend I had our team retreat where 43 of us got together from my team and we had 2 days of making and creating and fun and jollity and all sorts of stuff like that. And we had loads of different craft projects. I put together a few of them, 3 of them. And this was one of mine, and I wanted to showcase to my team because although it was a team retreat for crafting, it was also a teaching opportunity as well. And I wanted to show them that they can show off lots of different papers very quickly, very simply and very easily on bigger, bolder projects rather than simply on a card, but they can put them on bigger projects. So this one here uses a piece of 6x6 designer series paper. Now we have the 6x6 stacks, but we also have 12x12 paper, which you can cut into 4. You've got different sides to it, you've got different patterns and things like that. So it was about showing off papers and ways to show them off. So what I've got inside here are 2 Yankee candle tea lights. So everybody had a couple of candles and everybody had lots of paper that they could play with and they could choose which they wanted. So they could make one bag that had the candles in and they could add more at home themselves. These ones, don't remember the fragrance of these, but these actually live in my office. I have empty Yankee jars that I use for all sorts of things. And I also use them to store tea lights in. But as I said, it uses 6x6. Now this is the wood textures paper. We didn't use that, but I wanted to show it off because I kind of struggled to use it myself. It's not a paper I would reach for probably normally, but I have it and I'm kind of getting into using it a bit more. So 6x6 inches, if you're in metric, take it down to 15 by 15 centimetres. Okay, so score it on the first side at 1 3/4 of an inch and 2 3/4 of an inch, 4 1/2 and 5 1/2 inches. If you're working in metric, 4 1/2, 7, 11 1/2 and 14. And don't worry, everything's written down on my blog. And then turn it to the side and score it at 1 inch, which is 2 1/2 centimetres. So what you're finishing with is a box that's 1 3/4 inches wide that way, 1 inch that way, and 5 inches all the way to the top, which in metric is, I don't know what that's going to be, 4 1/2 by 2 1/2 by 12 1/2. I don't always write down the finished dimensions, so I have to work on the fly in my brain. So there's my score lines. So I'm just going to fold up my score lines. I like to say the idea was that they made as many different variations as possible, so lots of paper. And over the next few days I will be sharing some photos of what we got up to. Really is inspiration for you guys as much as anything, but my team are amazing and I get endless pleasure from spending time with them. I wish we could do it more frequently, but geography and time doesn't always allow. So what I've done is I've snipped away, so this is the bottom where I put a horizontal score line in, so I've snipped away a little bit and mited the edge, and then I've separated this up. Very difficult to see on this wood grain, but I've separated all those parts. So what I'm going to do now is run some fuse down here. So that becomes my back, so fold the 2 sides in and the back. And the front, pop my 2 tea lights in and they stack end on, so you can see the direction I'm putting them in. So in like that. Ordinary tea lights would work as well. Obviously, I mean, there's a little bit of rattle room there. The actual depth of a tea light is 3/4 of an inch, but I wanted a little bit fatter because I wanted it to be more than just tea lights. Not everybody wants to give away tea lights. Okay, so I've got the new copper ribbon. Now, this stuff is so much fun. Let me get this on autofocus for you. So, it's a lot of fun. It's quite thin like that. You can also stretch it like so, and it will go wider. See that? Here's the other thing. It's a tube. Let me grab a pen. And I was trying to describe this to a lovely lady called Jenny on the phone the other day, and I said The only way that I could describe it is a bit like one of those orange nets, one of those nets you get your oranges and lemons and citrus fruit in. And it's actually essentially a long tube, crimped at the end. Cool as that. It's a long tube. And obviously once you've done that, it fattens it a little bit. But I just thought that was the coolest thing I'd come across in ages. Okay. Small things please me. Oh no, look, I'm running out. Oh dear, okay. So let's get a nice pretty bow of sorts tied on here. I want quite a big bow. Let's do our best. Okay, and I want the bow to be at the front, so I might have to clip that down. Grab a clothes peg or two. It's quite forgiving as well, the copper trim. Particularly when you like me and you can't get hold of it. Do you know what? If I tie it down here and then I'll slip the bow around. Oh, why can't I get hold? There we go. Oh. Let's move it up a little bit. There we go. So, oh, it's not completely closed. It's close enough. So, and then what I've got here is I've got a little piece of very vanilla because on this one it's sort of got white and vanilla, but on the front it was mostly vanilla, so I went with that. And I've got the matching Woodward stamp set. Let's move all this out of the way. So I'm going for this big flouncy flower and a big block. I've got my crumb cake. Got bits of that ribbon now stuck on it. And I'm going to try and cover up as much of this as possible. Oh, I forgot to tell you the measurements of that. 1.5 by 2.5 inches, which is 4 by 6.5 centimetres. And then I've got another ink pad. This one's chocolate chip, another scrap of cardstock. And I've got the Thanks a Bunch, thank you. I'm not sure which, I think I'm going to go with Thanks a Bunch, same as I did before. Oops. Thanks a Bunch, so the darker cardstock, no, darker ink even. And my punch is a 1-inch circle. Fits around there. Oh, that's darker than that one. Maybe I stamped it off that time, or maybe I just used a different colour. I don't remember. Okay. Into the middle, and then last few dimensionals off that bit. I'm going to save those edges. Onto there. And that is a quick and simple, easy way to show off paper. And it's a nice gift for somebody as well. I mean, I know that my reasoning for making it was a teaching tool for my team, and but it's a really good gift for other people as well, you know. It's not all about teaching. So anyway, I hope you like it. Thank you ever so much for joining me. Hope to speak to you soon. Bye.